Are you feeling stuck, like there's more to life, but you're not sure how to get there? Are you ready to start living life on your own terms? Well, you're in for a treat because in this episode, we're exploring how to get unstuck, tap into your heart and intuition, and claim the life that you're meant to live. Stay tuned. Are you a big hearted, ambitious woman feeling completely fried by overwhelm and burnout? Do you crave a life of purpose and joy but feel stuck in a cycle of stress and exhaustion? Welcome to Burnout to Bliss, the podcast that empowers you to finally break free, reconnect with yourself, and create a life you absolutely love on your own terms. I'm Dr. Fee, and I'm passionate about helping women like you pour love into themselves first so they can actually enjoy their success and embrace their bliss. So get ready to expand your life beyond what you thought was possible in healing, love, leadership, success, purpose, and wealth. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Burnout to Bliss. This is my first episode for 2025. I've been really busy living a life that I truly love, and I'm so happy to be here with you all today. Now, I've kicked this year off with some incredible, big, bold moves, including a decision to move my family to India in July. Mind blowing. And also a change in the way that I support my clients. So lots and lots of change, big leaps happening all over the place. And I'm really excited to talk with you about getting unstuck, following your own heart and claiming life on your terms. Now, I really get that moving to India may not be relatable for most people, right? It's very meaningful for me. Following your heart, claiming life on your terms is about unlocking your greatest potential joy and purpose. So look special to you. It doesn't necessarily mean huge external changes out there, right? But it does mean feeling absolutely lit up, joyful, and at peace within you. And it's about saying yes to your heart and prioritizing what is most important to you, what truly matters to you. So let's dive into three key takeaway principles that you can start applying to your life today. And the first is all about getting unstuck. Now, have you ever had that nagging feeling? It's like this little whisper, or it's just a knowing inside that's telling you something isn't right or that you need to make a change. And maybe it's not so subtle. Perhaps it's your body screaming for attention. Yeah. Or you're pushing away the people you love and they're telling you, hey, what's up? Something's not right. Now, it is so common to avoid discomfort, to want to avoid pain, to push down negative emotions and feelings, to numb out, right? Society really does normalize this. It tells us just keep going, push through, don't rock the boat. Yeah, like keep swimming, Dory, keep swimming. But here's the thing, you know, staying stuck serves a purpose. If you're finding yourself doing the exact opposite of what you want, it might just be protecting you from perceived failure, judgment, or the unknown. So even if you are saying, just come on, let's just do it, I got to change, and you can't, just know that maybe there's a payoff for that. Maybe it's keeping you in a comfort zone, right? We all have a comfort zone. Even if that comfort zone is causing you pain. Often it's a case of it's better that the devil you know than the devil you don't. But the problem is that you never actually align to what you truly want and you just keep living life because it feels safe, comfortable, assured. Now, getting unstuck requires an understanding of what drives our behavior. It's our emotional nature, not just logic, not just our willpower. Society puts a lot of weight on willpower. Come on, just do it. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Just think your way out of it. And you really, you'll hear me say this again and again and again. You cannot think your way out of burnout. Once you realize that there is more at play, it's incredibly liberating because you can ditch, and I give you full permission to ditch the self-blame, the judgment, the criticism, the way that you beat yourself up because you're not doing the things that you want to do. Because actually, now you get to understand that your emotional needs are being met by staying stuck. There's a payoff. It's not wrong. I know you don't like it. I don't like it when I procrastinate or get stuck, but it's not wrong. It just is. We will meet our emotional needs regardless of how intelligent, smart, we know better. I mean, being a medical doctor for so many years, supporting very smart, intelligent people who, if only they implement really simple lifestyle choices, would have the most dramatic shift in their health trajectory. But it's not about that because it's about our emotional needs. It's our choice whether we support ourselves in a really kind, healthy, resourceful way that lifts us up, aligns us to what it is that we want, or an unkind and unhealthy way, hello, sabotage. I want you to understand that your sabotage happens, the self-sacrificing, the people-pleasing, the procrastination, the perfectionism, the getting stuck, because you are meeting your emotional needs in that pattern. Are you avoiding discomfort? Probably. That's one of our primary drivers, our need for comfort and certainty. Are you seeking validation? Yeah, likely. It's a real emotional need. Validation, approval, significance, it's a real emotional need. Are you trying to maintain control? Yep. If you're listening and tuning into this, absolutely. As high functioning, ambitious, driven women, often the way that we keep ourselves feeling safe, assured, is through controlling life, controlling these things out there. If only I work harder, think smarter, overanalyze. Where do we get stuck though? Here in our head. We miss out on actually enjoying our success and hard work and effort. So, this understanding is key when establishing a new healthy behavior or claiming a massive milestone in life. Okay. We're now February, you've probably started the year off with a whole lot of New Year's resolutions and goals, and you're ready, you're motivated, you're doing the things, and then it starts to wane. And the reason why the vast majority of people end up giving up on their New Year's resolution come February the 1st is because we're not understanding what it is, what's the foundation, what's key in establishing a new healthy behavior. What's key in claiming a massive milestone in life? What's key to cultivating more success, joy, life on your terms anyway? You want to, like life as you crave it. So once we understand these emotional needs, that we have them and that we can actually meet them in a really healthy, kind way, we can then create lasting change, right? So we can turn our life towards a more powerful way of living and breathing, a new direction, a choice, a pattern, a habit, whatever it is that you want. So, for example, eating unhealthy food, comfort food. Why do we call it comfort food? Well, because there's an emotional payoff because of that junk food. It's not because you're weak or pathetic. There's an emotional reason for it. It makes us feel comfortable. But you'll also notice, and this is again key, that these tricky, stubborn sabotage patterns will generally meet 3 or 4 of our emotional needs, not just one. So, in this example of unhealthy eating, binge eating, comfort food, unable to give up eating gluten or dairy or sugar or whatever it is, or just, ensuring you're eating healthy, it may be that you're meeting your needs of comfort, it feels good, connection. Perhaps this is a way that you and your partner connect, sitting on the couch, eating takeaway, watching Netflix. Maybe this is a way of getting validation. You're a mum, your kids love it when you give them treats. Oh, mum, you're the best. And then you take that away and say, we're going to eat healthy as a family. Do they like it? No. Do you actually get the validation that you need? It's not optional. all have an emotional need of validation, significance, celebration, and fun. When you don't have a diet, when you're not on a diet and you just eat takeaway or comfort foods, carbs, all the things, right? Unhealthy carbs, then it's pretty fun. There's no restrictions. Then you say, okay, I'm going to restrict this and not eat this and eat this. Oh my gosh, what happens inside? It's like rules, and we rebel. So, how you approach a new healthy diet needs to meet these needs in some way. So, if you are wanting to establish new, healthier ways of eating, or there's something because of health reasons you need to restrict certain foods, but you find it hard, then you need to understand that you've got to meet those emotional needs that I've just been speaking about in a new way so that these changes become sustainable and long lasting. It's not, rather than just do it mentality, focusing on willpower alone. Willpower will not last. It goes out the window as soon as we get tired, stressed out, we're out of routine. Hello, life. We need to learn instead how to be more gentle and kind and compassionate with ourselves, to tune in, to really embrace our emotional nature, because this is not woo, this is not wishy-washy. This is what drives our behavior. And also how to tune in and discern our emotional needs in the moment. You will find that there is a particular feeling that leads to you numbing out, drinking too much, watching too much Netflix, staying up late when you should be going to bed because that's your only time that you get me time. There's a feeling there that you want to escape or avoid. And unless we actually learn how to tune in and meet that, then we just end up living life in a predictable, reactive, autopilot, unconscious way. And when we do this for ourselves, then we get to open up to the full experience that life is gifting us, and we have more power in making the decisions and the choices and taking actions that are aligned with what it is that we want. Now, let's talk about key principle number 2, which is following your heart and intuition. If your mind is so noisy and busy and we're reacting to what he said, she said, we're thinking about the past, we're living in the future, we're analyzing every single thing, we are full because we've just been shoving emotions down. We think that if we just ignore it, it's not there. No. Like right now, please don't do this, but right now, if you just said, let me tune into that thing that annoyed me yesterday, you will feel it. Boom. You'll feel it in your throat, in your gut. You'll relive it. And that's because it's a suppressed experience. So your body processes it regardless of whether you tune in or tune out. And it's there distorting how you experience life. And it's distorting how you can hear your intuition, your wisdom, the infinite intelligence that is within you. I don't really mind what you call it. Most people refer to it and they are comfortable with the word intuition, but it might be something else to you. Okay, it might be like the hand of life or a knowing or a wisdom. And, it is so incredibly important, because as we open to trusting ourselves, then we can truly lead ourselves in any situation. And I can assure you, life will continue to throw you inevitable challenges. Life will be messy at times. So instead of tuning in and listening, and here's the thing, sometimes we receive information, we get a sense of, oh, I'm destined for more. No, it's my time to do this, to leap. I've got to do this. And then we can't trust ourselves because we don't know how to cultivate self-trust. And this is very common with the women that I work with one-on-one, because they have just suppressed their own emotional needs, pushed down what they truly want for themselves. In the end, they give up dreaming. They're successful on paper, but they don't necessarily feel it. And they don't know how to trust themselves anymore because they've kind of done the things that they should be doing versus tuning in and following what it is actually real and true to them, to their hearts. So we can rely on our intellect, on our mind. We can rely on fortune telling. Like, do you do this? Where you think about a particular direction and you try and analyze, well, what's going to happen? You analyze every possible detailed outcome. You weigh up the pros and cons. And I'm not talking about ditching due diligence. But let's be real, for many of us, we get stuck because we're just living up here and playing out the worst case scenario because we're stuck in a survival state. So we're just focusing on threats. That's how we're wired physiologically if you're in a survival state, rather than the good, positive what if? What if this works in my favor? What if something unexpected happens? What if a miracle happens? What if the law of synchronicity, good fortune unfolds in my life? Now that's pretty uplifting. Generally not. What we often focus on is all the things that make us feel really tired, exhausted, drained, and blah. And we just give up and we talk ourselves out of what it is that we have received, the guidance that is saying, hey, wake up. You need to be over heading in this direction, but we keep pushing on in this direction that is a train wreck. As a society, I don't know about you, but certainly for me, I grew up not knowing how to cultivate an inner sense of validation, approval, security, and certainty. I placed it in my achievements, in attainments, milestones, in other people, in things happening. So I put, these are my core needs, our emotional needs. These are not negotiable, as I was talking about with key principle number 1. But I would give that, tie that to other people, their opinions, their outcomes, their actions, and external circumstances. It's freaking risky. People can leave, people can change. You know, there's no there's no control in that. It's hard to take responsibility for external circumstances and people. And that's where we just end up living life wanting to control everyone and everything. And in doing that, how do we actually trust ourselves and trust our gut? So there are 2 parts to this. The solution resides in learning to love our humanness so deeply and strengthening our soul, inner wisdom, so that it becomes the driver of your life. So it all starts with self-connection. Now, mindset work, journaling, being in nature, doing yoga, they all help. But real lasting change, like real profound, miraculous shifts in your life, comes from a deep self-connection that resides on the heart and soul level. This is about cultivating self-trust, acceptance, love, and compassion. It doesn't reside up here. Mindset work is important. Yoga, the asanas, all of that is so important. However, more is required. It is what empowers us to take the big leaps, heart work, heart set work, soul set work. It's about learning to love our humanness when the fears arise, because they will. It's not about being fearless. It's about cultivating courage in the face of fear. It's about strengthening our intuition and also self-trust, so that we can align with our values, with our decisions and actions. Following our intuition, really does require us to profoundly love ourselves, our humanness, okay, the ego, the fears, the negative emotions, the real human experience that happens, the massive self-doubt, the despair, all of that, so that we can lead ourselves really powerfully in life, because it's so inevitable that we're going to face unexpected challenges. Problems will arise. Life will get messy. But there are practices that help us to bring forward the divinity, our strength, our divine qualities, compassion, love, strength, courage, bravery, all the good stuff into every aspect of life. And it helps us to tune in, to be plugged into our intuition, so that we can check in what's right in this situation. This is what's so powerful about the work that I do with my clients. It's not about following Dr. Fee's steps. I provide this incredible Bliss toolbox so that they're equipped to support themselves, to tune in and trust themselves and discover solutions, bring them forward, because there's going to be questions that arise, challenges, decision points, and only you can truly make those decisions that are right for you. Okay. And that, when you realize that for you and honor that, life becomes yours. That is truly, truly how we then step into principle number 3, claiming life on your own terms. Your own terms means discerning what's the right path ahead for you. Now, this is about taking inspired action. It's not just about trying to think your way into success and deeper levels of fulfillment and sitting back, although receiving is incredibly important, the feminine. But it's also about recognizing that simple steps taken consistently will have the most profound impact in your life. When we are in a state of feeling stuck, overwhelmed, looking around in life and going, oh my God, I feel so exhausted. I am a mess. I feel a mess. This is horrible. We can often think that the solution has to be so big and complicated and multifactorial. But in my experience of not only being a holistic doctor for 15 years and now a transformation coach for big hearted women, to go from burnout to bliss, it starts with small steps. Yes, the steps you take are important. Absolutely. But it doesn't need to be complicated and, like overwhelming. And so I'm going to invite you to think about what is one tiny step that you can take to truly honor your intuition. Is it learning how to set a boundary to honor your time, energy, and joy? Is it about saying no to something that's draining you? Is it saying yes to something out? Is it about reaching out and receiving support because you're worthy of that? Because as fix-it gals, solution-focused gals, we can find it really hard to actually ask and receive support. Maybe that's what's required. So I've really resonated with a teaching from a previous mentor, and it's about, so many women who come into my world, and myself, I'm in this classroom of cultivating deeper levels, a deeper sense of confidence, self-conviction. Okay. And this teaching is that this results from a series of brave steps. And these brave steps occur when we actually lean in and embrace fear or shame, the flip side. And I invite you to think about this. When was the last time you felt courageous? You did something brave. Well, what else was mingled in with that experience? Fear. Shame, a negative emotion. And so this is how, rather than tuning out, as we're talking about with key principle number 1, we get to tune in and realize these real negative emotions and experiences are there as an opportunity. Okay. And as you take all these steps towards claiming a life on your own terms, I want you to understand power resides in the process, not about doing these things for a specific outcome. Although I get that's why we work with mentors or learn new things or, make the decisions that we do, step up for a promotion, is because we want the outcomes. I get that. However, your power resides in truly focusing on who you are becoming along the way and embracing the fullness of the journey in the process. It's not about reaching a perfect happily ever after. It's not about, I'll do this in order to get that, because when you do that, you're constantly in the suffering gap. I've done another podcast episode, which is all about the suffering gap. Please tune into it because it's so powerful. Where your power resides is in showing up for yourself and letting that be enough. Even when things are messy, things aren't going your way, it's unexpected, there's challenges, you're facing a big problem, If we focus on the outcome of getting that done, having an expectation it should be gone right now, that creates so much suffering. If we shift our focus back to who am I as I show up and embrace this present moment, reality, this toughness, this challenge, this ick, then in that we discover so much more power and strength. Now, this is why cultivating self resilience, self compassion, self love, unwavering self belief is so important. But we allow the journey and the classroom of life to support us in cultivating all of that. We don't have to have that figured out before we take a leap, before we say yes to ourselves. We say yes to ourselves, and along the way, we discover self compassion, self love, resilience, power, truth. So maybe this year there's an opportunity for you to focus on you, prioritize you and your key values. From this place, we accomplish what we want, but we actually get to enjoy it. So I get it's really tempting to set all the smart goals around your weight or fitness or relationships or, focus on a holiday or the thing. But I'm going to invite you, like, what if you were focused on becoming someone who gave yourself immense grace, immense compassion, even in the midst of difficulty? What if you truly prioritized filling your own cup and learning what that means to tune into your emotional needs so that you can give to yourself in the right way? Not just follow someone's 5-point list of like, oh, I'll do yoga every day, or I meditate, or I do some journaling. Maybe you could actually prioritize what it would mean to learn to tune in and give to yourself in the most meaningful way in the moment. And, that's where the real power, joy, and peace reside. It's in here. I'm pointing to my heart if you're listening to this on the podcast. It's how you create a life you truly love from the inside out. And when you do that, everything on the outside changes as you change on the inside. It's just the law of nature. And I truly believe that an incredible life is available to everyone to claim. It is definitely our birthright. It does require a shift in perspective. It does require, if you're tuning into this, it does require a shift in the way of living and being. You may need a strategy. You may need support, a community to help you to do that. Now, this month, in February, I've opened up 8 spots for one-on-one work in February. 5 are already filled, so there's only a few left. It's not a one-size-fit-all solution. I've got to a point right now where I'm so excited about determining what is best for you based on your resources, needs, the outcomes you want. I have 4 incredible frameworks to support you. The last several years, I've been so invested in creating these incredible processes, frameworks, trainings, so that you have everything you need, the steps, but combining that with personal one-on-one guidance is what this year is all about. Okay. And if you need evidence, which is meeting your need of certainty, like, oh, I'm not sure if it's right for me, is it going to make a difference? I'm just going to invite you to follow that. It's a need. And check out my client celebrations, which are on my website. I've got podcast episodes. They're in my YouTube YouTube channel. There's lots available. And if you want one, then just reach out. And the next step for you is to reach out, book a 10-minute conversation discovery call, and the link's in the bio. And that way we can connect and have this conversation about what's going to be best for you. So if you found this training helpful, if this episode has really landed for you, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know by email, depending on whatever platform you're tuning into this. If you think it would help someone that you love, I invite you to share it with them now. Share the love. I'm wishing you an incredible day. Take care. It's been so beautiful spending this time with you. If today's episode sparked something within you, please subscribe, leave a review, and share the love. Are you done feeling overwhelmed and burnt out? If you're craving a curated, holistic framework that addresses burnout on every level, body, mind, heart, and soul, to get you claiming your life on your terms, then my Burnout to Bliss program is perfect. Apply for a free breakthrough session with my team and let's deep dive into your unique situation to help you reclaim your energy, joy, and power. Now, if you'd prefer to get a taste of what's possible, then come join our amazing Bliss Sisterhood. It's our low-cost, high-value monthly community membership, and you'll find the links to both in my bio. So stay tuned for the next episode where we'll unlock even more secrets to living a blissful life. Remember, you are powerful beyond measure. Take care.